6:36 now, and thousands of people visit the Blue Ridge region every summer to hike the trail.
While many hikers come prepared with water and some safety equipment, it's often difficult to know exactly what you will need out on the trail.
WSLS 10's Aaron Brookshire joining us now live this morning from McAfee's Knob. So Aaron, one of the most important things to bring in this heat, especially like we've seen the past couple of weeks, is water. Just how much do people need to bring with them?
Yeah, that's right. It's important to bring enough water to make it to the top all the way back down. My photographer Drew and I are on the trail. We're barely 20 feet from the road right now, and you can see how tough it is already. There are roots, there are rocks, you've got to climb up. So that's why it's important to bring so much water. Rescue crews I spoke with say you should bring about a quart for every 2 miles, which equals out to one of these standard size water bottles for every mile. Now a hike like this, McAfee Knob, is about 4.4 miles up, 4.4 miles back, which means you should be bringing about 8 or 9 of these standard water bottles if you plan to do a hike like this. And it's important to stay hydrated, as you all mentioned, especially in the humid, the hot weather we've seen. That's why hikers should bring up enough water to make sure they can refill, have drinks on the way down. Kimberly Roscoe was here with a group that hiked it, that camped at McAfee Knob overnight, and she says when they started packing for the trip, they knew most of their weight would be in water.
The walk is hard. It's pretty strenuous. It's mostly uphill going up, so you're exerting yourself, and it's really hot, so you're sweating and your throat gets dry, like you can't swallow.
When you start packing for your hike, don't forget about the kiddos and the dogs if you plan to bring them along, as well as the entire family will need plenty of water. It's also important to have a plan, research your hike, and know how long it takes to make the journey and just how difficult it's going to be.
You want to bring a map or a GPS or some way of knowing where you're at and where you're going. That's one of the key things that we run into. Is a lot of people, they come in to hike one of the beautiful trails that we have, don't realize either how far it is or where they need to turn around at and which direction they need to get back from.
And it's also important to communicate your plan to family members or friends. Let them know where you're going to be hiking, what time you plan on hiking, and when you should be back. That way, if something happens out on the trail, you can't call for help, they can let emergency crews know where you are. Jenna and Patrick.
Now, Aaron, maps are really important. There are paper maps that you can get at outdoor stores around here, but a lot of people rely on their phones. Is that an okay option?
It is an okay option. It's also a good idea to take a screenshot of that just in case something happens. You don't have service out on the trails, because you never know what your phone service is going to be like. So obviously maps are the best option. And Jenna, as you mentioned, you can get those at a lot of local hiking stores. You can also print those off online, and those are durable. You know they'll always be with you whether you have cell phone service or not.
And a lot of these places are pretty rural, so you know you're going to lose service in some of them.
Yeah, Aaron and Ed, thank you so much for all this good advice. What we always do is look ahead of time, look on the map, see what it looks like, so at least we kind of have a general idea of what we're walking into.
Good idea right there. 6:40 now.